Aloha everyone to another live digital kava session here on the Polynesian Eyes podcast. This is officially our last live from South Central Texas, from the great state of Texas and the beautiful city of San Antonio, the river city, military city, home of the San Antonio Spurs and the spirit of the Alamo. We were able to visit the river walk when Mr. Aotearoa was here.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a sad relocation next week, but we're also excited to continue the adventure in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Mr. Aotearoa, how's your Friday for you? Closing out the week and getting ready for the weekend.
Pretty good. Tua, New Zealand is very nice here in South Auckland, Manurewa to be specific. Beautiful day today. Can't complain. Getting ready for the cold weather coming pretty much next month. It's so funny when I think of the cold weather. Most Tongans don't like it except Xiaoxi Ilayu. I won't forget the comment he made. He likes the cold weather, so he's probably excited that winter is coming. So everything's going good here. Tua, Friday, I usually work from home, so I'm just kind of cruising it on a Friday here in Aotearoa. So everything's going well. Tua, excited for this live digital kava session on the Polynesian Eyes podcast for today.
No, that's awesome. Just a quick update. Some pretty exciting news on the activity we're getting on social media. I think we broke 900 subscribers as of today. So the march towards 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is exciting. We're heading towards 3,000 followers on TikTok. And after our last calculations, we are on pace for over 2 million views a year. Just on TikTok and YouTube. That does not include any of the other social media views. So we're pretty excited about for this little whakamuna to continue, and see where it goes. So we appreciate everyone's shares, likes, and comments because it goes a long way. Slick Rick says, much love and respect to you and your father.
Malo,
appreciate it, Slick Rick. Malo. Yes, we just released I think a few weeks ago, an episode with Devita Fale, the founder of the Polynesian Eyes Foundation. He is working on the next episode where he is going to focus on a lot of the words that are tied to Mayan and Inca words that we still use in our Polynesian language today. So that's a little sneak peek to the next episode with Devita Fale, Slick Rick.
Tua, is that episode going to come before his trip to Tonga, I assume, right? Before the trip to Tonga, hopefully, because he'll be gone for a while overseas.
Correct. So we're trying to get it before he heads out. So hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
As always,
our PR guy.
Water Bears, the PR Mormon Housewives reality show is Whakamuna. The funny thing is, Water Bears, according to them, they're breaking barriers and actually helping the LDS church. So it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective.
I think they're the true definition of the Mormonism progressiveness that's happening.
Oh, that is hilarious. So I'm gonna give a quick preview of the show today. So we got some interesting things. First couple things we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the popular run it straight and run it sport, right? That's a new sport. It's not a lot of times that a new sport gets started. So this is pretty cool. We'll look at the two versions of this. This is a sport started by Polynesians. And so we're going to kind of dive into that a little bit. Next, we're going to take a look at some individual Polynesians doing some exciting things, right? In whether it's sports, art, or even designer clothes. We're just going to talk through that a little bit. Then we're going to get into some social media feedback on some of our episodes, specifically around our Maori brothers and sisters, and some of the commentary that's going on social media. We'll give some feedback on that and get some discussion there. Then we're going to end with 2 videos, one on the Maoriori, and then one of the suggestions from the comments on TikTok was we take a look at some of the Maori wars, the history of it, and what happened with what led up to the Waitangi
Okay.
treaty,
Okay.
and the battles that happened after the fact. So that's pretty cool. Hey, my brother Jason Gomer there says, "What's up to a red and blue, the brotherhood, all day, all day."
Talk
Oh,
about red and blue. Hey,
yeah.
Jason. Hey, Jason, be careful. We're gonna tomahawk chop you next year if you guys keep coming, man.
Jason, just tell these guys to stop firing their coaches. Right now, there's a little drama in the North Shore.
Wait, we SEC style down in Goku. 1 year, bad year, get a new coach. Man,
Yeah, Red Raider for life. So that's what we're gonna start with here, real quick. So let me see here. Let's bring up this one first, and this is a have you heard about it, Masi? I think you've heard about this show or this
Yes,
sport.
I did. I think it's the Run It Straight that I watched one episode. I had no idea that there's another one that's different from the Run It Straight. I thought it was just the same, but now I know that it's literally 2 different organization or 2 different groups that are running it. So, you know, I'm gonna learn some more in this episode about it.
Yeah, so the way I understand it, there's the Run It Straight that you saw, Masi. That's more by some Polynesian, I think they're Ha'amoa social media influencers. And that's
Mhm.
more like community based, right? That's kind of with the community. They just have it at like public parks. They invite people. There's like a $5,000 prize for whoever wins that series. Then the other one's a little bit more organized. It has funding. I think one of the main uh, investors, if you want to call it, is that Solomona,
Mhm.
big guy who plays for the Storm, plays on the Kiwis
Mhm.
rugby league. And so this is their competition. First one is the more professional, the more organized one. And they just had their championships. So this is a snippet about how that went.
Yesterday, we introduced you
Okay.
to Run It, the brutal new full contact Aussie sport that is basically football without any of the actual football. Last night, Run It held its first ever championship, and it was even more brutal than we may have expected.
8 of the nation's hardest hitters descended on Melbourne last night, ready to go head-to-head in the first ever Run It Championship.
Runner ready! Defender ready! 3, 2, 1, run it! And here we go first.
Ooh,
Round
knocked
1,
out.
run 1. Canberra's Curtis Malataisi
This
is down.
seems to be
So
the
judges call it.
heavyweight division.
Your winner
Yeah.
from the black corner.
Then on to round 2.
What?
And at run 2,
Oh, yeah.
Oi.
And all of it.
Melbourne's Troy Pulupaki is out cold and out of the competition.
Look, I've said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again today. I'm really concerned about what we're seeing with these sort of events where the most violent aspects of our sports are being exploited for entertainment purposes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why it's entertainment, man. That's the whole
And
point.
why-
after 12 brutal hits, Brisbane's Jeremiah Semiosa was crowned Run It royalty.
Jeremiah Semiosa is your Run It champion. He walks away with the
First of its kind.
$20,000.
But before the night was over, one last
that
special
12
guest
grand
clash
for it? Did they
between two
announce?
footy legends.
Yeah, 12 grand.
Okay, because I
Hey.
know
Go ahead.
that the that Run It Straight, the whoever wins the first prize, like first place, it's about 5 grand. So
So
You
is it 5 grand just for that episode though, right? Or is it 5 grand for the whole thing?
just for that whole episode, because they go to different cities and
Yeah.
they go to different public parks and they do the tournament there.
Okay. Hey, isn't this Fijian guy that used to play?
The winger,
Yeah,
what,
the big is that him?
Natolo or something?
Naholo.
Naholo. Yeah.
He played for the Highlanders, Otago. Highlanders,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Oh,
for the Super
okay,
Rugby team
okay.
or Crusaders, maybe.
Maybe it's Crusade. I don't know. Okay, so maybe hey, he's doing a little exhibition.
Oh,
We'll see. We'll see.
side money.
Burgess and Nadolo, two
Yep,
legends
Nadolo.
of the
That is
game,
it.
about to collide.
Oh, Burgess, one of the
Is
Burgess brothers.
frightening. Ooh.
The Englishman, victorious.
I think big future in this sport with how we
No
can
wrap
grow it.
up.
But yeah,
No wrap up.
big future for running.
Oh, and joining us now is former Rabbitoh star George Burgess. George, it looked absolutely brutal. Half the audience could not even watch the screen. Why did you want to be involved in this?
Yeah, look,
It's
I think
exciting,
it's
man.
great. I think it's a great
Yeah.
concept. I always loved that part of the game, the kickoff carries and the collision. But I do see some flaws in it, as you can see in some of the footage. I think there's some improvements we can definitely make with making sure the competitors are prepared and ready to go and they've got the right technique. So that's something that I'm really passionate about, coming on board and helping out run it. And I thought it was great for me to have a go myself and show them how it's done.
Yeah, I got to say, watching it was really obvious when the two of you went at it. You looked like people who knew what
That
you were
guy
doing.
ain't gonna
and were
be
trained.
running it straight.
And then when the other guys did it, it looked like just chaos. And
This guy's
anything
He'll
that
be
got
gonna
done,
be
postered.
I
running
think
tight.
there.
What do they call it in
Just the
NBA? You
experience
get posterized. You know, you get dunked on. He's the one that you would posterize after the bump, right? And then you want to get that, then you advertise it to come run it straight.
This guy's like, oh Yahweh, sign me up. I'll take on these guys. Because I don't think there's weight classes or anything. It's just straight up whoever
know-
wants to line up.
I know for the run it straight, they do by weight classes. So they have like a heavyweight, then they have a
okay.
light heavy, the run
Okay,
it straight
that's
guys,
good.
the social
That-
media influencers.
No, that will definitely help. That's helpful.
Mm.
This guy's not going to be in the heavyweights for sure.
doing it. That you've run at a lot of defensive lines in rugby league. You've been in a lot of defensive lines when people are running at you. What is actually scarier, that on a rugby league field or running at a 160 kilogram Fijian rugby player in that situation and run it?
Well, I mean, you're in a game, you're running into 3 or 4 guys from 25 meters away, so it's a little bit different. But yes, I've never tackled anyone as big as Namani before, and I'm pretty sure he was about 170. So I think moving forward, we need to have strict weigh-ins because it's got to be regulated properly.
Now I've got 2 little boys at home, a 6 and a 3-year-old, so it's run it straight in the hallway every day. Have you? Your brothers are rugby league players. Have you run it straight with your brothers?
Oh yeah, definitely. We grew up in the back garden wrestling and running at each other. So it's all fun and games, but you got to make sure that you're doing it right. And one thing that we're pretty passionate about at Run It is not it's not for kids really. It's an adult sport, and we don't want people trying to copy in the park or in the back garden.
George, do you think any of the other Burgess boys would compete?
I don't know. I think they're running scared a little bit after watching last night. I'll call them out though if they want to go.
In all seriousness, George, I mean, I'm a leaguey. I talk about rugby league all the time. I love it as a sport. But in that sport, and it seems to be across every code in the country at the moment, we're spending so much time getting dangerous knockouts out of the sport. At least we're trying to. So should we really be inventing new sports where they seem inevitable?
Hey, look, I think if we really manage it properly, I think it can be a great spectacle. It's such a theatre out there, and it was great to witness it firsthand. But I think we can really control it if we keep progressing. You know, the target area is here, and if we referee that properly, there's really a very small chance of players getting hurt, competitors getting hurt. But I think we're a long way from where we want to be with this venture, and it's just the beginning, but it's exciting.
Well, George, we appreciate your time and congratulations on last night. Thanks for being with us.
What's your initial thoughts, Mr. Atero?
It's giving me vibes of the. It's gonna giving me vibes of the slap. You know that slap competition.
Yeah,
I think
power
it's being
slap
on-
or something like that.
Power slap. So maybe it's starting off as that, and then it's to see where it goes from there. It could be like something like some other sports that started early. I think the UFC is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When it started kind of earlier. But right now, I see it as going into like that slapping championship right now, right? Until
It
it
has
gets
that feel
until it
because it's a
yes,
one-on-one,
one-on-one. So, but to me, I don't know. Yeah, you can manage by putting in maybe some more rules and stuff. But to be honest, it's the same thing with heavyweights with knockouts. People love to see
That's
somebody
why.
knocked out. That
Yeah,
I mean
that's the
that's
reality. That's the
and
reality.
and the more it's the same that you can say this for American football, even rugby and rugby league. They're starting to take away a lot of the things that people used to like, that really high hitting and stuff, and that they're using that helmet to helmet contact a lot, and they flag people. But that's going to provide another opportunity for these kind of sports that people
Another
just want to
sport.
see, another sport for people to see high intense impact. And
Yeah,
there's an opportunity. So hey man, hopefully, like I said, man, a lot of the people, if you notice, the people who were participating in this run it and I'll run it straight, they're Polynesians. We love to hit, and physicality always tends to be on the Polynesian side. But that Burgess guy, unless you get some big boys from other ethnicities like that Burgess guy from England, that'll be fun to watch, man, around the world. But what you think,
yeah.
Tua?
No, that's exactly. I kind of going along with what you're saying when she was like, we're trying to take this contact stuff out of these other sports. Well, maybe that's exactly why this is catching on,
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah,
people just like the power slap. People are there because of the collision and that intensity. And so we all understand everything progresses, right?
mm,
Just like rugby league and football, the more money gets involved, the higher the investment. It's
yeah,
natural progression to get more technical, more rules to try and protect the investment. But when you're coming up as a brand new sport, that's how you grow, is that intensity and that contact. Here's a couple comments. Pound for Pound Entertainment says,
mm,
this news reminds me of when the UFC first came out and it was too violent. So they had to stop and restructure it to be what it is today.
yeah. Well,
That's kind of the
and I
same thing.
kind of mentioned that what Pound for Pound was talking about with the UFC kind of thing, and like what you kind of mentioned too, when money's involved, and it's also good for the player. You're gonna improve your technique because you want to be good for the next year on the next round, because your body is you're only as good as your availability. So if you're good for you're gonna and a lot of that availability is people, the way you take care of your body, technique plays to all of that. So people will just refine it, like what you said too. When you're paying people to be your full-time sport, you're going to take care of your body like a full-time athlete. So it's just like what you said too, natural progression if this becomes a big thing. But for right now, I do see it like the slapping competition. I feel like that's kind of where it's at
The
the
stage
moment.
it's at. Yeah.
Yes.
Couple other interesting comments by Pound for Pound. He says, hopefully the Poly founder has the rights to it as an intellectual property. Like we mentioned, we're going to go to, I think the content creator guys may have been first. I don't know. Pound for Pound. So we're going to run through, there's two competitions. This is the more professional one that has more sponsorship. It's kind of controlled settings in commercial settings. The next one's a little more driven by the general populace, right? It's kind of like a grassroots. It's at public parks and so forth.
Mm.
And he says, I not colonize Asiana, the Run It Challenge.
Is that the Burgess? Who do you mean, Polygreen? Is that the Burgess, I assume? I mean,
yeah, I think he's just thinking anyone that's going to take it from him or whoever. That's interesting. I don't know who exactly started it. So, with that being said, we're going to switch over to the more grassroots competition. And you'll see the difference, right? The other one we just saw, it's in like a commercial setting. Everything's controlled. Then we're going to go to this one, and we're going to look at the difference here.
Good crowd, man.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. This one has like bigger crowds, but I don't think anyone's paying. They're just out there to watch it. And you see a lot of kids. That's the thing that catches me, a lot of young kids. So I think this one has more momentum. The other one just has more opportunity to be scaled up, right? Scaled up because it's more professional, but kind of interesting. Same concept, just different approaches.
And then it just shows you the power of social media, man. Like I think that one too is they announce it maybe like not too long where they're gonna be. It's like open invitation. You get there, and then they'll categorize you which weight you're gonna be in, and they just say, run it straight, and it's fun and it's pretty. I mean, that's a good crowd, man. I mean, that's a crowd bigger than like I've gone to
Super rugby game.
Super rugby game. Yes, that's been bigger crowd than a super rugby game I've been to. I won't say the names of the team that I went, and it was like that one has a bigger crowd. It's also I went to like a high school rugby championship game. That's about the same size. So I mean, man, that's pretty impressive, man. The crowd that they're pulling in for that run it straight. And I've never heard of these guys. I've watched one episode. I think they were in Campbelltown. I did see one, and I've never seen them before. So I was impressed with the amount of crowd that they brought in and the entertainment, man.
Water Bears, Masi, you can read this one. Read this one.
All right, Water Bears. I'm gonna start my own run it in LA with the Blacks and Mexicans nonprofit organization to settle gang beef to prevent gang violence. Oh, Water Bears. I like it. Very solution based Water Bears. That's why I like it. It's better to have concussions than a dead body, Water Bear. So I agree with you. I agree with Water Bear's idea over there.
Marie. So it's kind of cool. I think it's exciting. It's not every day you get to see a new sport, and I think this one has some real potential to turn into something, like you said, just like that power slap. This I think this has some feet. It has momentum. You see the crowds. See the two sides of these sports, or the two versions. The more grassroots shows that it has the support of the community and it has the fans, right? The more commercial one says, hey, look, it has sponsors, it has interested investors. So I think it has all the ingredients to potentially be a real sport that could materialize. And we'll just see kind of how it goes.
Yep. No, I agree. I'm excited to see where it goes because my first time to watch it was that Campbelltown one, and I think they're coming to Auckland, so it's picking up momentum. So obviously these guys are being invited outside because it looks like it's starting from Australia. Now it's coming to New Zealand, and who knows, like what Water Bears, maybe after New Zealand, go to California and then do one in LA, which will be hilarious.
Maybe they should do when the NRL comes in between the games, have a run it straight.
Well, and that's the thing, though. When I was looking at that, is it George Burgess and Natolo guy? If you play league, you're much better to have a better technique in running it straight and also tackling. So I wasn't too surprised, even though Natolo's a big dude. I mean, that George, what's that Burgess kid, because of his NRL background, the NRL guys have a great upstart. Like just because technique and running wise, that's what they do all day, pretty much.
Interesting. That's what I just noticed. Rugby league players are much more comfortable in heavy contact, and the Burgess guy is a forward, right? Naholo is a wing, right? That's not necessarily their, a wing going to find contact, but looks from here. Hey, Pound for Pound says it's coming to the USA. They haven't announced which state they're going to. Where do you think, Masi, if you had to do the legwork of which state, you going to LA, you going to Utah, where do you think you would go?
To be honest, I'll probably do. See, even Hawaii, I would probably do because go Polynesians. Go where you think Polynesians come, because it seems to me, what I'm seeing, most of the 80. The one I saw in Campbelltown, all of them were Polynesians or mixed. So mixed Polynesian. So the only ones who are, like I said, who are pretty confident in running it straight as Polynesian people, just the physicality. That it's probably good to start maybe Hawaii. That's what I would say, Tua. Maybe
Mm.
Utah too. California, to me, California is so big. You know, it's so big. Maybe you can end it with California, but I would like to start it in Hawaii. That I think you'll get a bigger, bigger possibility to get more participants for a new country. That's just me.
Okay.
I'll go to the state of Hawaii.
My thoughts are two. If it's the run it straight, the YouTuber guys, the influencers, Hawaii. I think that's where
Yeah.
you go because that kind of fits like the local
Yes.
vibe, the local feel, that straight up, and really just knocking each other out. And the fact that it's not super commercial, I think the Hawaii kind of cultural background and the preference, I think that would do really well there. If it's the more commercialized, if I had to pick, I'd probably go to Utah. I'd probably go to Utah if I was the commercial one. And then if you were just lazy and wanted to do the easy button, California. Pick a Bay Area, probably the Bay Area because there's more Polynesians in the Bay Area, even though there's a ton in Southern California too. But I only say that just because obviously with the LDS background, we just know there's more LDS states in the Bay Area. So, but I know there's a handful of Polynesians in Southern California too. So,
Oh, that'll be interesting. There'll be two spots I'll think to do it in Hawaii.
Where?
Kalihi. In Kalihi,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
In
Kalihi. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just saying, Kalihi, there's
have it at one of the parks near the projects, the government housing.
Camp housing.
You get everybody over there.
You get everybody, and that's a rockerous place over there. So you get a lot of following. You get a good turnout, in my opinion.
That's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. If you do it there, it's gonna be jam packed. There's gonna be so many people there. That's a good point. So I think that's where's the other spot? Where's the other spot?
Ooh, the other spot probably thinking. I'm thinking somewhere in Nanakuli area, the west side.
The west side. Waianae, Nanakuli area.
Yeah, Waianae, Nanakuli, around that area. Those are the two spots.
Max Holloway come out, right? Have Max Holloway come out to run it straight. I think that would be pretty cool.
He would. I can see him coming and showing up and being entertained because he loves knockouts too. So that'd be something. And who knows? He could be somebody that can maybe be the ambassador of the sport in the state of Hawaii. I mean, if he likes it, he's a people's champ, so they would like that.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is like, this could go anywhere. You get someone in the U.S. with a little money, get behind it. You never know where this could go. Because you could get a lot of different athletes here in America interested in it. I mean, for Pete's sake, they're all showing up for some of these little local fights and competitions and stuff. I think you would always, whichever city you'd get a good group of people lining up to compete.
Yeah.
Maria. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to transition to the next segment of the show. So this one, we're going to kind of take some look at some individuals who are doing some cool things, Polynesians across the world, just kind of checking out some of the cool work that they do. The first one we're going to start with is a New Zealand artist. And his name is Darcy Solia. Have you ever heard of him, Mr. Aotearoa? I never heard of him until
Solia.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Ha'amoa. I know some Solia's Ha'amoa things. Okay, no. I just know the Solia, but don't know this particular artist.
Okay. Let's get this. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong screen. Let's get this one going. some of the fusion stuff he does is pretty
every
cool.
day, drawing and art is something I enjoy doing. There are rules to doing art, but you can break the rules. And I think it's better if you break the rules because you become more creative. So as a teacher, I'm not a person who tends to say, oh, you can't hold a pencil this way or you can't hold it that way. For me, I don't think I have the right to say that, because if you were to teach kids to do one skill and everyone does it, it doesn't make them original. Everyone's doing the same thing and it's kind of boring in a way. So just teaching them that, if you be more creative if you create something different or something new. Without, if you want to gain ideas and build your ideas, you've got to have to go out and search for other artwork or information, whatever. So with my art, some of the things I've done is more based on my family, but it's also based on, parenting, based on war, based on stuff you see on the news. But yeah, going back to the family stuff, I do quite a lot.
I like this one.
Looking after children.
I like that one where it looks like death at the bottom and then life at the top.
There are kids that we have that who have got it hard in their lives, and you always look back at the parents and how whether if you're going to have a kid, you've got to take that responsibility. I've got into doing painting that will have stories to tell, so a lot of them that I create now will have stories and will have meanings to my work.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's pretty cool, Dua. How did you come across this guy? Was it just through social media or?
Just in my feed. Yeah, just popped up in the feed and watched it. And I thought, man, this is really cool stuff. I mean, the art is awesome. I really liked his philosophy, in recognizing that we're all one people. And, and just speaking about Maui and how it's recognized. Apparently it sounded like, it could be wrong, his initial impressions were Maui was a Maori concept. And then, as he's learning and growing, he's like, oh, yeah, we have Maui all over Polynesia. And actually, we're united. We're one people. And I really like that feedback. But it's kind of cool what he's doing. The thing I liked about his art was the realistic stuff was pretty good. Then he'd do some of the stuff where it looked like a little kid do it, but it has like context in the background. And I thought it just looked really cool. A lot of his stuff.
Yeah, and I do like some of his art because he's versatile. When I say he was versatile, he was doing the ancient history of our Polynesian people designs. He was also doing contemporary. Like looks like he was also doing current events when he, maybe some of the social issues and wars and maybe the struggles that maybe our people or people in general are dealing with. So that's pretty cool. And his arts, his designs and pictures and everything was very cool, though. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I never heard of him, so now I know of him because you brought him up. So that's pretty cool.
Darcy Solia, and like in the Lower Hutt area, apparently in kind of like the Wellington area. So that was pretty cool. Let's see who we got next. All right, let's show this one. So this one is pretty cool. I think you've heard about her. She's kind of making the rounds on social media. What have you heard about her, Muscle?
Yep, I have come across her. Same thing. Tua came on my feed. From what I understand, she is Tongan, American Samoan descendant, Ha'amoa descendant, and looks like a mix of some uri too, some black. So pretty cool. Apparently she's like a national champion in sprint, as a sprinter.
Yeah, state championship in Florida. And that's a speed state. Like that's not like 100 meters in Utah or Montana, right? This is 100 meters in Florida that's known for speed. So this is a big deal.
Yeah, I think the speed states are like that Texas, Louisiana, Florida, that Georgia. So
Yep.
that's pretty impressive.
California, the
California,
big sports states.
yes. So pretty impressive. What's giving me vibes to it? Like there's a possibility she can go to the Olympics if she's dominating at this level. So hey, it's pretty
Yep.
cool. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And like you're saying, if she doesn't make it on the US team, or if she wants to follow the trend of some of the other athletes and just head over to Tonga or Samoa and represent them, that'd be cool. But let's just watch the video
Okay.
of some of her sprints here. I think this is from the state championship.
Okay.
Cool to see her with her flags. The 100 and the 200 meters.
Wow. Oh, that's a good gap. Look at that gap.
Yeah, yeah. The 100 was pretty good. Oh, Sukahema, I think is her last name. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, this is never would have thought the sprinting, but what do you think about this comment, Mr. Atero?
Sprinting is definitely from her black side. I mean, who knows? It could be, but like if the Sika Hema, I'm just putting it. I don't know the background of this young lady, but from what I'm seeing is Sika Hema sounds like a Vava'u from Tonga. Maybe the mom is maybe mixed Ha'amoa Uri Uri. So hey, unless the black is the thing, but most of her genetic makeup sounds more Polynesian than Uri Uri, but I could be wrong. Just saying, maybe her black side that 25% is the speed side, but UTOL, could be. But I'm just saying that it's pretty impressive, pretty impressive that she's dominating the women's sprint, and more, and some of the social issues America is going through, not in America but Western world. Hey, that's why all of us need to make sure that the women's sports is only for women, so these women can thrive, because there's definitely a battle with people saying that there's no gender and you can participate any
Yeah.
sports. So that's the thing there. But what you think, Dua? Is it
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Uri side, or what do you think?
well, that seems to be the most obvious answer,
Mm.
right? Just because we typically see. But I will say, Sikahema, there's some athletes like Vai Sikahema, NFL speed, right?
NFL speed, yeah.
So that there's that, and then there's some decent athletes in rugby and sevens and stuff. I think some of the big things, especially in sprinting, because it's not a talent or a skill set that you have coaches around the world who know it. It's like you have to develop a history of knowing how to sprint. That's why Jamaica does really well. Obviously, they have the Uriuris, but also it's just they have a history of understanding that science. And then obviously America, it's just the amount of money that gets poured into sports. It's really hard. So I guess my question would be, Masi, let's ask this, since everybody's kind of saying this. If we took her and she grows up in Tonga or American Samoa, it looks like the flag she's carrying is American Samoa, would she be the sprinter that she is now?
Ooh. I think maybe yes. There's a possibility. Dua, because of I'm just thinking of the intercollegiate sports in Tonga. There's a possibility that maybe she could have that develop. But to me, it's if it's a coaching thing that's kind of made her do well, or sometimes people are just built for speed, and she could have just dominated. And probably got a scholarship probably from some of the islands if she was, it was in her DNA as a sprinter. That's just me. That'll be interesting to her, but I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Possibly yes. Possibly yes. What do you think?
I'm not as convinced. I think she would be a fast athlete. She'd be fast, but I don't think she'd be able to hit the times because I think she's in Florida. That's a state that's known for sprinters, so she has tremendous coaching probably, and then you add the talent to it. It goes a long way. And so I don't doubt the raw talent, but it takes money and know-how to really develop that talent to be world class. And I mean that's why America is so great at so many things. It's yes, you have the raw talent pool, but then you have the financial means to develop that talent. If you don't have the financial means to develop it, then it takes someone to just see the raw talent and say, if I take that raw talent and I put it with the resources and the right coaching, kind of like a Jordan Mailata, right? Jordan Mailata is, before he gets the coaching, before he gets the sports science behind him, he's not a quote unquote top-notch left tackle. But if you take him and put him with the money and the knowledge, yeah, he becomes what he is now. But I mean, she'll still be an athlete in my opinion. But
Interesting, yeah, because that's the thing. I think because running is such a global, it's everything do. The American football is a very specific talent that you can develop. That's what I'm thinking, Tua. But the running, to me, I think there is a case, and there's a reason why, in the Olympics, there's development plays a big deal. Jamaica, like you mentioned, they probably identify talent at an early stage and they start developing.
And they have the competitions to develop that. Right? They have all the sprinting and all the coaching and the infrastructure behind it. I mean, let's just use another sport, boxing. Just like boxing, we have a lot of raw talent. That's why it's kind of exciting to see someone like David Tua go back to Samoa, because you have to have that know-how, right? That know-how is really important. You take that know-how, then you can hopefully elevate that talent locally, and then the next step is then you probably have to go to America, right, to get access to the resources and into the competition level. So
no, you're right. It's like a mix of both, because there's some raw physical traits that you can't get, but you need that it kind of goes 2 and 2, right? Like,
exactly.
How do you teach somebody who has just the physically built body size for a specific sport, right? And then it's just managing that with coaching and developing that. So
no, I agree 100%. You need all of those pieces. You need the raw talent, you need the sports science, right? And then you also need the resources to develop the know-how and to develop that speed. And whenever you're missing one of those three, you have to be extraordinary in the other two to catch notice or to make up for the difference. So so interesting. That was cool. That was cool to see her be successful in that arena. This next one is another youngster that's kind of doing some cool stuff. This is
he's part of the trend with the Moana Pacifica.
Moana Pacifica. So obviously the big superstar is Artie, right? You can't get around. He's the superstar. He's the franchise player. But there's some interesting other young Polynesians in the mix, and this guy is one of them. And he kind of took not an unorthodox path to where he is now. So we'll listen in.
Hey, Karen Damufalo, outside back, Moana Pacifica.
This kid's special.
Weaving and spinning and cutting the Hurricanes apart.
Keep an eye on this kid. He is something else.
Scary thing is that we're only just getting started with Kai. He's got all the attributes of a modern day winger. being a part of his growth is exciting.
Now a chance to open them up, and Taufui Falau's in. He's a brilliant young player.
So it started off with me coming out of Marlborough Boys College. Once I left school, I went through the Tonga Sevens pathway.
That's not a New Zealand accent. Is he an Aussie?
I didn't even understand what he said. Old Boys College. I didn't even get the name of the school. I have no idea where that is.
Yeah, but he doesn't sound like a New Zealander.
Oh, does he sound like an Australian guy?
He sounds maybe, but not fully Australian. But he sounds more Australian. I mean, we'll listen, but he didn't sound like a Kiwi to me.
Aaron Taumoi Folau, the deadly Tongan strike threat. He is a flying machine.
And then through the Tonga Sevens pathway, I got asked if I want to go play for the Kalitahi, the 15 side. So I said yes, and that was the Rugby
It's
World
Australian.
Cup.
Gotta be Australian.
Taumoi Folau! World Cup debut!
Probably the most special moment in my career. And then from there, was selected to go to Moana Pacifica.
Look at that crowd.
What I love about the Moana Pacifica is just their culture, their family. We all come from different backgrounds, but when we're here, we're all islanders and we're all just having fun and we're enjoying with that poly flavour. There's a massive buy-in this year. We've got some good players in key positions. We just want to be playing our very best footy. If that's making the top 6, winning the competition, that's what we want to do, and we just want to do it to the best of our ability.
Taumoi Folau with his pace is going to win the race. Pacific Pride to the fore.
Just taking it day by day, week by week.
He goes through. Oh, wow. And a famous victory here in Christchurch. For the first time ever, Moana Pacifica have beaten the Crusaders.
I think we're just looking to light it up. Not looking too far ahead, but we've got a big goal in mind.
You doing what you love?
Love it, man. Wouldn't change it. Best job in the world.
All right.
Maria,
Hey.
any thoughts, Mr. Aotearoa?
No, I did hear of him, especially I think I did see him in a couple of the sevens, playing for Tonga, and then I knew he was pretty much drafted from the sevens to the Ikaretai 15. So I did hear of him there in the World Cup. He did play. So, I'm glad that he is playing Super Rugby. Still, that's one thing that you can do as an athlete, have a full-time job, being a professional athlete. So it's pretty cool. And he's loving it. And then now he's on a good trend with Moana Pacifica. And hopefully, he bigger and better things from here on out. So wish him the best. And hopefully Ikaretai can do well if he decides to still come to, keeps playing for Ikaretai, man, because he's definitely an up-and-coming talent. What do you think, Dua?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Obviously, when you look at that Moana Pacifica team, like we mentioned, Artie is the foundational piece for that. But I think a lot of the excitement is Artie is bringing the eyeballs to the team, the talent, and helping them win. But then there's all these cool little side stories, right? Like him, you have the Pellegrini guy. Like these are a bunch of guys that it seemed like Super Rugby wasn't taking seriously. None of the major clubs were taking seriously. They even said Artie Savea coming to Moana Pacifica was probably a mistake for his career. And it's almost like a reality show, right? Bringing all these guys, the excitement. I think we mentioned this a little bit on our last live. The energy at the Moana Pacifica games that's like way higher than any other Super Rugby team out there.
Yeah, the best so far.
And then what's crazy is even when they go visit other teams, the kids aren't running to the players in their home field; they're running to Artie Savea, right? Like it's just kind of interesting that this thing that's developing. And I look at these young athletes that are coming up, and then when you bring in the run it challenge kind of concept behind it, and you see the excitement in that, it's just kind of like, this is a cool like tsunami of Polynesian influence and excitement that's happening. And it's exciting to see this new talent coming up because his tries have been like leaping into the air, juking, chip and chase, and it's against like guys like Jordy, what's the fly half in the fullback for the All Blacks?
The Barrett
brothers, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So he's not doing these skillful things against some scrubs. He's doing it against the best in the world. And so it's kind of cool to see that. It was kind of exciting to see this talent.
Nice.
Sweet. Let's go to. Nope. What's going on here? What is going on here? We are going to mute this for a second so I can switch to the next screen. This one should be a well-recognized individual. This is Opetaia, probably one of the most exciting boxers
Is he undisputed?
in the world.
Is he undisputed for his the cruiserweight? Is he undisputed?
I don't think he's quite there yet. I still think he's trying to get undisputed and then
go heavyweight.
The rumor is try and get Usyk to come down.
Oh, I thought he was going to go up.
Well, he is. He will go up, but Jai said, once I go up, I'm never coming back down. So that's why he's saying, hey, Usyk, if you want to, because Usyk said he's going to come back down. Usyk said he's looking to come back down to cruiser. So that's why Jai's like, hey, if you want to come down, I'll meet you here at the cruiserweight, because he doesn't want to go up to heavy and then Usyk go down and then Usyk say, come down and fight.
Okay, now I don't see Usyk going back down, to be honest. I don't see Usyk
You
going
think
back
he's,
down.
because that's what he said. You think he's just playing games?
I think he's just, yeah. I mean,
who knows?
He's been dominating the heavyweight. You could say Usyk has been dominating. I just don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know why you would go, because right now there's more competition for him in heavyweight. You got Joseph Parker, get Justice Huni, like we kind of mentioned earlier. He's kind of, or in the previous, maybe I don't know if it's in the previous episodes or this just us talking, but Justice Huni, he's preparing to fight some high profile fighters now. I think there's a lot more variety fighters in heavyweight. Cruiserweight, there's a few, but I mean, I'm just thinking of profiting for these guys to get bigger profit. I would think it's in heavyweight. So I'm surprised that Usyk did say that he's gonna go back down. I just think there's a lot more financial opportunity in the heavyweight. So
that seems to make sense. I think I agree with you. Maybe he's just playing mind games, trying to tell people to line up or make them think they don't have to worry about him in the heavyweight. Interesting. But it'll also be interesting if Opetaia goes up to heavyweight and Usyk's still there, right?
It can happen, man.
Make
Like
it
especially if he's undisputed for the cruiserweight, he's already conquered. He's the king of the mountain. He goes to heavyweight. I mean, that's already you can advertise that and make it a big fight. If Usyk's still champion. Is Usyk announced he's gonna fight Dubois or anything?
Yeah, that's the next fight. So supposedly, this is the other exciting thing. Supposedly, whoever wins the Usyk Dubois is supposed to fight Parker, which is pretty exciting.
Let's go, man.
Yeah,
let's go.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I think we can all agree that that Udi guy from London pretty much dodged Parker.
Oh yeah,
that last minute so that he can have a,
he made a business decision to get more money.
Fight. Yes,
and it looks like he made not just a business decision but a lucky decision, because I think whoever was going to step in the ring that night with Parker was going to get knocked out.
Yeah, I agree.
Parker was ready. He looked strong.
Good.
He looked fast. I was like, it didn't matter who was coming in that ring. They were going to get chopped down.
Yep.
So sweet. Let's see this. It looks like Jai was just visiting the motherland in Samoa.
Oh, I'm not hearing any sound, Dua.
Let's thank you.
Just on a side note too, man, that's one thing I really like about Jai Opetaia and Joseph Parker. They've done many trips like
In
throughout
their
their whole
prime.
careers in
In
their
their
prime
prime.
to
Hamo.
Ha'amoa, which is pretty cool. And it's a good example for both of these guys mostly kind of grew up overseas, but it's like I said, they have a strong connection to their heritage and their culture. So it's a good example for Polynesians throughout the world when you're doing well and stuff. Do these little inter breaks when you have in your career to the islands and stuff, and do some videos like this, and just kind of stay connected, which I think is pretty cool and is a good example to us. That's just from my view.
100%. Stay connected, stay rooted, and I think also inspires the next generation, because these kids on the island see Jai and Joseph Parker, and then you see someone like David Tua living on the island. They're like, you know what? I can make this happen. I can be a world champion.
I'm half Samoan, half Australian.
Oh, he's half.
My grandfather's from Tuwhiopa and my nana's from Lanamanu.
Okay.
So it's a part of who I am. It's important to me, and I got to grow up sort of introduced to both type of cultures. Oh, country's not big,
Which culture? What did he say he's from? What's the?
He just said he's Ha'amoa and half Australian. So maybe Palangi.
Palangi. Okay, gotcha.
I'm assuming when you say half Australian, half Samoan, so
it's safe to say Palangi. And then if it's not Palangi, it's Aboriginal.
Some Apple.
Yeah.
Okay.
People know it, but they don't know it. Probably, it's rare for people from our neck of the woods to sort of make it on those world stages. It's special, man. It's special to be up there on the world stage and fly the flag, and then be able to come here and do things here, and
that is cool.
To be at the forefront of the representing our people's special.
Hey, he must like eating limu. I see limu tatted on his shoulder.
Tattooed.
I like limu too.
It's good to be back here in beautiful Samoa. We're very grateful to be able to do these things for the kids. So
this is cool.
It's one of our goals to sort of create these pathways. We're here to develop the sport here and help out where we can. It's more than just the gear. It's not about the donations, really. It's more about the time and effort to be here and show them that we actually do care. We want them to do well. So, the donations is the easy part.
Drills that we're teaching the kids at the moment is just basic fundamental stuff. Taking it back to, again, fundamentals from the ground upwards. So kids are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
Been good.
Yeah.
I'm grateful and thankful to
Terminator. Here we go.
Jai's father and Jai for giving up their time, valuable time to give back to these young kids. So it's just amazing, just absolutely amazing.
What's he doing here? What are you doing here? Yeah, mate, having David Tua there with us training the kids, it's amazing. He's one of the Samoan icons of sports. And to have him here just teaching, hanging out with the kids and hanging out with us. And,
that is a big deal.
It's a complete mind-blowing. It's unreal. Jai's a big kid himself, so he enjoys hanging around with the kids and seeing them, expand further and, get excited. And yeah, I think he likes it. We love it.
I just grew up in the sport, it was honestly like a family business. It just got passed down to me and I can't remember doing anything else.
My granddad done it. My dad done it. I done it, and now we've passed it on to Jai. So Jai's a 4th generation.
My first fight was a kickboxing fight when I was 8 years old. And yeah, man, I was 8 years old and I was a big kid, a big chubby kid. So I was fighting, there's a weight classes, so I was fighting older kids. And man, I remember being so scared walking into the first fight, man.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there. He was 8 years old.
Nowhere to run.
We went to a fight night, kickboxing, and I was wrapping his hands. He was crying, and then when he went in, he bashed the kid, and beat him up, and won. And then ever since that day, I think he's seen something after that.
After the fight, I was good, and the fear was all built up in my head. So it was a good learning curve.
To watch it all progress to where we are today, amazing.
Yeah, my dad's been my coach since I was a little kid, but it's not just my dad, it's my whole family that have made sacrifices for this. My mum working all the time, paying for our petrol to get the sparring, because when you're chasing a goal, man, it gets hard. You're not getting paid and stuff, you got to make sacrifice. So, my dad done his job in the gym and my mum done her job, to help us all move forward, look after the house. So, everyone's made sacrifices for this journey.
Importance for us to come back is just to share our journey with everybody. I think, like Jai says, we've come from nothing with like everybody else, and yeah, it's just a lot of hard work, but you just got to put in the hard work.
Work hard and stay focused. A lot of discipline.
Without boxing, I don't know what my life would be. It's kept me on track, so that's what I'm trying to do with these kids as well, is give them a goal and sort of keep them out of trouble and give them a purpose. My best advice would just be stay ready. Whether it's anything like a test or, education or anything like that. If you get thrown in the deep end too quick, you're going to fail. So you need to keep preparing, keep sharpening the tools.
Maria.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Any thoughts?
No, it's pretty cool. And you know what I've noticed too? Most boxers, they really come from really tough backgrounds. I'm thinking like the guys like Mike Tyson, Mayweather, Fagaofa, the way he grew up, the family built up. But I've noticed like, especially the two recent ones, Joseph Parker brought up in a nice, good home. Angalere, he's a nice guy just to be around with, normal dude. Now Opetaia, going with his dad. It's good. He's well-rounded kid. I was like, it's good to see these fighters come. It just shows you the good quality upbringing too that these two fighters, especially when I'm referring to these two fighters, Opetaia and Joseph Parker, because they're kind of the pinnacle at the moment. They're at the top. Justice Huni's coming, and I've seen him with looks like he's come from a good, solid family home, because a lot of the boxers, out of the past, even
had
Pacquiao,
no other option.
Even Pacquiao came from a very tough background. Family were not together, but hey, this is a good example. Like, there's so many examples that's good. Going back to your heritage country, stay connected. Not only that, the background that these fighters are doing well looks like having a father presence. The family is, I'm sure they had their own struggles, but look, they've helped them get them through here.
They had the whole team.
They have the whole thing, man, and it's a good example for our Polynesian people everywhere to, if you're a father at the moment with young kids, or this is a good example of how you wanna try to live your life to try to help and your kids and set good examples. It takes a lot of hard work. Not only hard work to develop the skills and do well in the sport that you want to pursue, but also the social aspect of the family. That because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work too to keep the family together. So it takes both. You know, the parent side to keep the family together, and then you pursuing the sport and developing that. So good example, Dua, from all aspects from what I see. But I don't know. That's one thing I just noticed. I don't know if
Yeah.
you had any addition or something different, Dua.
No, my favorite thing about Parker and Opetaia is, like you were saying, a lot of these athletes that come up and they talk about it's about the money and the fame, and and it's about building up themselves. I really like, especially Jai. He always talks about, this is about my family, right? I'm not the only one who sacrificed here. But the temptation is when you get like especially a single sport athlete, but even on team sports, the temptation is, oh, I did all this, I did all that. And I love how, I think he was asked in a interview before a fight where they're like, after he won, actually, where it's like, how does it feel to actually make it? He's like, we haven't made it, man. I'm not here for me. I'm here to make sure one day, hopefully, my parents don't have to work anymore. You know what I mean? And that's his vision. It's not singular to himself and what he wants to achieve. And like you were saying, the stability that his family background will give him, it increases his chances that the success won't destroy him. Because that's the one thing, right? Coming from that fractured background, it motivates you to achieve the winning, the money, and so forth. But sometimes when you get there, it just destroys you, right? Because you don't have the stability and the right people around you. When you try to do it on your own, or you don't have that stability, you attract people who will mislead you. They're just there because you have the money and the fame and the influence, and they're willing to sacrifice your well-being to have access to your fame and to your money. But when you come up with your family, the family then becomes your protection and protects you from that wealth and that fame, because you have your father, your mother, your close-knit family who are more likely to tell you, hey, Jai, I think this is a bad idea, right? When in the other scenario, and we see a lot of major sports athletes get this, you get the yes men and women around them, and all of a sudden everything they say is always the greatest idea, always the thing, even though people look at it and like, no, that's not good for you. You shouldn't do that. You don't care. They'll tell you, yeah, that's a great idea, even with the worst idea in the world to do, just so that you give them what they want. So yeah.
Very good point.
Sweet. Let's see what's next here. This one is kind of interesting. This one is not a sports athlete. This one is a little unique. And this is a clothing designer, William Mahe. And I thought this was pretty cool. You see that? What does that look like, Masi?
Does that look like the bandana leaves?
Doesn't that look like
together?
it?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like it?
Yeah.
Guess what? It isn't. And they'll check it out. Watch. He's going to explain. Like, to me, that's the first thing I thought. It's like, man, that's not going to be comfortable, right? If you try to wear that, you're going to have to wear something underneath to protect, because it'll scratch you and it's hard. But look at what this pretty creative dude does.
When they look at what I made. So this is a corset. And on top, I took this satin fabric, I cut it into strips, and then I wove it to look like a basket or woven mat. And then I added these beads across the top. I did not buy it like this. I had to make everything you're looking at.
Isn't that pretty cool?
People are confused.
Very cool.
I mean, look at how we just talked about creating a new sport, right? With the Run It. We're talking about all these young athletes being successful in sports. And then we're going to start to see Polynesians also get into the fashion and the designing of clothes. And it's interesting, man. Like this, it's cool to see our people going into so many different parts of the culture and like flourishing. Like I see something like that and I look at this individual and I'm like, dude, you keep that up, man. You may become something pretty cool down the road, you know? And it's not only just a cool design, because you don't see that anywhere, but it's promoting the culture. This is to me this whole thing of colonization and freaking out about decolonizing. I was like, guys, calm down. Yes, there were mistakes made. What's more important? Take the good and the opportunities in front of you and figure out how to make it work for you. Right? Figure out how to make your environment, your circumstances to work for you. Because I promise you, when our ancestors were traveling thousands and thousands of miles, they weren't sitting there crying about oppression and colonization. They were like, what have we learned from our ancestors that we can apply to the challenges in front of us? And what's the new stuff that we've learned to improve what we've been given? That's not to say that we're putting down what our ancestors gave us. They improved on what they got and then gave it to us, and it's our job to improve upon it and give it to the next generation, rather than this, oh my gosh, I was colonized and I need to decolonize myself. No, go and do something like this young man, right? Take this new palangi cloth material. How do you infuse it with our culture and create something new and exciting? And I thought that was pretty cool, which is why I wanted to include it. Not just the sports and stuff like that, but even this type of creativity.
This is a different kind of arena hetua that's kind of, you know, this fashion design, which is a very lucrative
if you figure this out, man. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of I'm just thinking like a lot of the kind of the billionaires that's kind of coming up, they're not, I think Rihanna is another one. Like she was doing the singing, but she only became a billionaire when she was able to do like clothing, you know, clothing stuff. And once you get to that arena, like there's a lot of financial opportunity. So give props to this you know, Polynesian brother over here that's you know, trying to infuse, it's almost like that that fusion Polynesian flavor in this arena here. So it's pretty cool. And hey, all you can do is just try, and then when you crack it, man, that's good for you and your entire Kainga and family that's behind you. So awesome stuff.
100%. So with that being said, that completes that segment of the show.
And at the end of every live digital cover session on the Polynesian Eyes podcast, stay curious and ask the hard questions of Hatu. Until the next one.
Peace.
Hello.